What's up, everyone, and welcome to Sinister Street, where we talk about everything horror. My name's Kevin, or better known as OccultDuelist, and I'm joined by
MetalGhosty.
And today we are going to be talking about the horror movie The Babadook.
Yes, the Babadook was released in 2014, and it is in fact a January movie. So you'd assume immediately that it's shit. But, in my opinion, it's not shit. But I guess we'll discuss it later in this video.
Yes.
So The Babadook is a story about a mother and son. And the father, he died on the day the son was born while driving to the hospital to get the son born. So it's a pretty traumatic experience for the woman, of course, and I guess also the son, even though he probably didn't get much.
Whoops.
He probably didn't get a lot of that information until later. So every year, actually, when the boy's birthday comes around, it's kind of a hard time for the woman, and of course, that's the period in which the film takes place. So the boy is about to turn 7, I believe.
Yes,
yeah,
that's correct.
And of course, the traumatic experience memories come back to the woman, and slowly along the film, the woman just goes crazy, you could say. And
and that would be an understatement.
Yes, because I mean, it's very understandable why she goes crazy in the first place, because the kid itself is fucking annoying, to say the least. Holy fuck, dude. And that's not because he's a bad actor or anything, just the role of the kid is so annoying, because he's supposed to be annoying, but it still annoyed me. And of course, the woman as well. He's just really hard to handle. He makes his own weapons and stuff, and he just freaks out and does stupid shit to get himself and others hurt. It's really annoying. And the mother's trying to cope with the father's death, and now, of course, the son is getting in trouble as well, and it's really annoying, and it's fuck. So yeah.
Yes. The acting is terrific, to say so. To be able to portray that stuff, sometimes it looks so realistic to me that you can even forget that it's acting.
Yeah, and the cast isn't even that big. It's mostly the mom and the son for the movie. There are a couple supportive characters along the way, like the neighbor and the guy at work, and maybe I guess the sister. Only she's also really annoying. There are a bunch of annoying characters in this movie, but yeah. So of course this mother is very annoyed by the kid for like a lot of years, and she has trouble coping, and it's all building up. I feel like before the movie started, she like kept it all inside and never really had an escape. So and when she tries to have like a moment for herself, the kid interrupts, and of course that's very frustrating. And at one point, the mother says to the son, "You can pick out a book to read before you go to bed." And of course here starts the Babadook mess, because he picks out the book named The Babadook.
Who would have thought?
The Babadook. Okay, so as they read it, it says things like, "Don't let it in. If it gets in, you'll be in trouble," or "you wish you'd be dead" is a line in the book, I believe. And it's a pop-up book, so the kid's kind of scared. And from here on out, it just gets crazy. It takes a while before it gets really crazy, but it really starts here.
Yeah, the first Babadook sighting, or the sighting where he's on screen, is like 50 minutes in, and it's done in like a really weird stop-motion-y kind of
Well, it's not
shot.
the first appearance, though. There's
he is in the background a lot, like
let's
at the police station.
Let's first off say, like, don't go into this film thinking it's a creature feature or monster movie.
I feel like a lot of people did think it was like a creature movie, or a
even
slasher,
or even like a paranormal movie to an extent, because it doesn't really have much of that either. I think the whole thing is like a metaphor for the grief she is going through, and now that this Babadook thing is also really a big thing in the household, because the kid is also scared of it, and the kid's repeating lines from the book like "don't let it in," so the woman kind of gets all wrapped up in that. And I believe, how I perceived it, it's the grief, so almost like metaphoric. It's not
it's never really specified in the movie what exactly is going on, but that's like the main theory, that nothing is real in the movie, and that the Babadook is just a figment of their imagination.
That's how I perceived it. The Babadook isn't even a real entity in the movie. It's more like a, how do you call it, like almost like a vision of sorts. Only there are a couple things that don't really line up with that later in the movie. But let's go back to the Babadook himself, because he has an appearance before the one where he crawls upon the ceiling and he has the close-up. Because at one point, the main woman... What's her name again? Wait, let me check. Amelia. Where Amelia is washing the dishes, and she looks at the other house, and she sees a almost like silhouette of the Babadook in the house of the neighbor. I believe
that at the police station, he is also kind of in the background.
Oh. I might have missed that.
She looks behind the cop who she's talking to, and he stares at her like he thinks she's crazy. And at the background, you see like his clothes. You don't actually see his face or anything.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, there are a lot of hints. Because, I mean, he has one other cool sighting, I think, because at one point Amelia is watching this old TV program, almost like not really cartoony, but like really old, like almost like a play that's filmed, you know. I'm not sure how to call it exactly, but it's just all these weird dressed up people, and then the Babadook shows up, which is a cool sighting. I think that's where you can get the best look at him if you want to see a full like image of him. I mean, if you want to see his face, there's the obvious screenshot, because he's really one. He's really like the.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go.
Because that screenshot is actually the only thing I knew of the movie before I saw it.
And you don't know anymore now.
Yeah, it's like the only clear shot, and it's like one frame.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really sure what to expect, because, like I said, that's the only thing I saw before I saw the full movie.
Yeah, he really isn't in the movie that much. I'd be surprised if he's like actually on screen for more than like 10 minutes.
I wouldn't even say 5.
Something like that, because the times he is on the screen, it's like really short, like a matter of seconds. And with the main picture you see everywhere, where he crawls on the ceiling and then there's a close-up, that's not even like a real, like, it's stop motion in a way. It's not just smooth, like, it's not really a shot, it's more like a stop motion thing. So you don't really get a good look at him in motion, I feel like, because a lot of the times he's just either standing still or moving towards something, but he isn't really moving himself. He's like floating. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting way to maybe like get around showing the main antagonist. But yeah,
I think it's really well done. Sometimes it puts a lot of tension, but at the same time, it kind of leaves out a lot of stuff, because like we were talking about before, it never really specified what exactly was going on. Even the ending, I still have no idea what exactly it was supposed to mean.
Well, I have a theory, because I said like the Babadook doesn't even exist and stuff. It's all inside their head. But the thing that doesn't really make sense with that is that the kid was actually being dragged around the house at one point by an entity, you'd think, but it's not really shown or anything.
Yeah,
but
he just kind of flies around.
Yeah, exactly. And then at the end, you have the screams in the cellar, and I don't know, in the cellar. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but
the basement.
The basement, yes, that's what I mean. And there's like a lot of noise and stuff, but I'm like doubting if that's also inside of her head or if it's an actual thing, because the kid could obviously like see it, or maybe not see it, but acknowledge it's there, you know?
Yeah, she has this bowl of worms to feed it or something.
Yeah, that's also strange, because if it was all in her head, why would you need to feed it? Maybe I thought before that point it was kind of like her getting over the death, which still kind of stands, but why would she go back and feed it worms every day? That's kind of strange to me. Maybe like it's a metaphor for paying respects, but I'm not sure how that works with worms. Maybe get something different than that if that's the case, but I'm not sure, man. I mean, everything up to that point is pretty like in line with the whole metaphor theory, but yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah,
so,
I don't know. It was good. It didn't. I want to talk a bit about the scares maybe, because it didn't really have the obnoxious jump scares. I feel like if there were scares with noise, it never really was that intense or that scary or whatever.
I feel like the closest thing we got to a jump scare was the scene where he was crawling on the ceiling, or maybe even in the car, like when the car crashes.
Yeah, exactly. And at those points, there isn't even a loud noise or anything. It's just quiet. And which
is kind of surprising, since it's a pretty recent movie, like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, there are a lot of movies around that time and still now that have a lot of noises, but I really respect that about this movie, because if something is supposed to be scary, I don't think if you have to put like a loud noise behind it to make you jump or to make you terrified of it, I think your scary thing kind of failed. I mean, if it's supposed to be scary, just put it on the screen and just show it, you know, just it's on the screen, it's right there, you know. And then that you can get terrified by it. Now, I'm not saying I got terrified by the Babadook. I don't find him particularly scary. But I really like that they didn't go that route, because it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, like, it's just bad, all these jump scary movies. Like, in the 80s, when the most popular horror movies were like slashers and stuff, which didn't really have any jump scares. And then in a recent addition to the other movies, you have like The Nun and all these other movies that aren't scary at all, but they're like, people watch them to get scared by loud noises, which kind of bothers me that there are so many of those.
Yeah, it kind of like takes away the meaning of a true horror film, because I watched this Chris Stuckman video on this, and I agree with him like 100%, because now when that doesn't happen in films, people leave the movie theater or take out a DVD or whatever, and they're like, oh, that wasn't scary, I didn't even jump. Well, that's not even the thing you're supposed to be scared of, in my opinion. Like, if the story is good and there's good tension building and they just put the scary thing on the screen, or he does something, then that's good as a scare. It doesn't need the loud noise. And it's always, you can always like pinpoint when it's gonna come, because the music fades out. It's quiet for a little bit and then, oh, loud noise. I mean, it happened in It as well. It too, they did a fake out, which really, it's like, I saw it coming first of all, and it's just kind of cheap, because then at first it was like, it kind of failed, because there was a character and he saw something he thought was scary, but it wasn't scary, but it still had a loud noise, so it was a fake jump scare. And then like a couple seconds after that, the actual scary thing jumped on the screen with another loud noise, which is totally backwards, because with the first fake jump scare, you've totally taken away all the suspense. You ruined that on the fake jump scare, and that's also why I don't like fake jump scares. It totally takes away the suspense. You're like, oh, okay, that was the thing that's supposed to be scary, and then if another thing comes on the screen, it's like, oh, what? It's not as scary anymore, you know? That's kind of.
I would say a good horror movie is a movie that makes you think after you've watched it.
Yes, 100%. You want to research more about it. You want to feel like, oh, well, what was that all about? Maybe a small thing, or just something that sticks in your head about it. And it doesn't have to be the scary imagery. It can be like the storyline, like, oh, how did that exactly work?
Yeah, that's what. Talking more about the Babadook, where that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, what happened? What?
Yeah.
It makes you think, like, what was it actually real, or was it all in her head? And all those the small details. It really makes you think that after you left the theater, or in this case, finished watching the movie at home, you want to discuss it. You want to have other people's opinions about what the story was, how they interpreted it.
Yeah, this was a movie where I was really interested in your opinion, because when this movie came out, I remember that there was a lot of it was a big divide between the viewers. There were the people who really liked it and were like, oh, it's so metaphoric and it's cool and it's really maybe interesting, and the other people were like, what? I didn't see the monster, he wasn't in the movie. And I think the trailer has a lot to do with that. Now, this is just a theory. I haven't seen the trailer, but I can almost guess that it was made to look like a creature feature. And that's just false marketing, and that's kind of sucks. But yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen the trailer myself. I can't really say anything about it. But
yeah.
This
video will probably not be as long as the last one, because I already noticed.
Legit just finished watching
the
Babadook before, and I had no time to research it.
Yeah.
So everything that I know is from the movie itself, which is why I don't really understand everything. I haven't let it sink in that much.
Yeah, let's talk a bit more about like the things that happen in the movie, and maybe try to find a way how it's logical, because there are a couple things. For instance, at what point did she exactly let the monster in? Or didn't she at all? It's kind of strange, because at the end she
definitely let it in.
Yeah.
Because at the end she had to let it out, like Samuel the kid said. And it had this ink-like substance.
Yeah, just black. She threw black shit, and well, not literally shit, but black liquid. And that's when the monster fled to the basement. It's pretty cool how they did that as well, because there are a couple shots where you don't see the Babadook, but you're looking from the first perspective from the Babadook, which was pretty interesting, cool choice, I guess. I feel like
it's like a classic horror of a slasher movie.
Reminds me of Friday the 13th. Foreshadowing.
Yeah, every slasher in the 80s, no, almost every slasher in the 80s did that a lot.
Yeah, even if it was just a little bit, I feel like. But yeah, I think that was cool. I feel like it could also have been a way to not show the monster as much, which is interesting. Because I feel like the people who wanted...
Let me see. If he looks at her in first perspective, that means there is something there, because something has to be able to look at her.
Well, that's not necessarily the case.
How could...
Because in theory, we have been looking at the things she is seeing all along in the movie, like the cockroach nest inside the wall, which was gone, and we saw that as well. So if we're looking from the perspective of a monster that's inside her head, I think that could have been a creative choice from the videographer, or...
I guess so. Yeah, maybe you're right.
But I mean, that's just a
earlier,
theory.
like, when exactly did this creature get in her head?
Yeah, there are a couple key moments, I feel like. There's the moment where they read the book for the first time, which could be it, but I'm not sure, because things really started to escalate after she burned the book.
Yes.
I feel like that's the moment they really let him
Or
in.
maybe even when she first ripped it apart. Because that is like...
Yeah, that's another strange thing, because she ripped it apart and put it in the bin, but then it appeared back on the mat, on the door mat. And I feel like... what was that? Did she do that herself? Because she's done some crazy shit. I mean, it could be. Did the kid do it? Because the kid was also...
She might have just imagined that as well. Like the cockroaches and stuff. It wasn't actually there. She just thought it was there.
Yeah, that could be the case.
Because maybe all the imagining stuff happened after she ripped it apart for the first time, right?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Because maybe that's the moment where she kind of lost it, when she ripped it apart, because that's when she kind of lost her senses and she gave up or something.
Yeah.
She gave up to the book because she couldn't handle it, and then she ripped it apart. And ever since then, everything's gone to hell.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Or maybe the burning/ripping of the book is like a key moment where you, as the viewer, can see that she's totally given into the idea of a Babadook existing, even though it might not exist in universe. But then it still kind of confirms it for her, so for her it's real. So, I don't know, it's difficult. It's a difficult film.
It's really mysterious, especially when you haven't really done your research.
Yeah. But that was interesting, though. Had some cool...
It's definitely an interesting movie, and I would really like to know more about it. Which is why I'll probably be researching it a little more in the future.
Yeah.
Maybe even rewatch it, see if I missed anything, or see some new things after you've seen the full story.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like... kind of like Hereditary in a way.
Yeah, it's really similar. I wouldn't say similar, but there are some similarities between the Babadook and Hereditary.
Yeah, I definitely like Hereditary more, though. I think this one was alright. Only I'm not sure if I'm gonna watch it again, because this is already the second time I watched it, and it's kind of a slow movie. It takes a while to
and especially since, in my opinion, the actual characters aren't fun at all to watch. They're more annoying than anything.
Yeah, well, that's also because that's also kind of the point
of the movie, but still, it makes it really annoying to watch them screaming and yelling for the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, it really sets up the relationship the mother and son have. I mean, the mother wants to do the best she can, but the son just keeps...
But she just can't do anything right. She wants to do everything herself, I feel like, up until she kind of breaks down. Yeah. And it really doesn't work out in anyone's favor.
But I feel like she also isn't really helped a lot by the people surrounding her. I mean, the neighbor really wanted to help with anything. I feel like the neighbor is the most nice character in the whole movie. But
maybe the colleague as well.
The colleague was also nice.
Well. But the moment he came in, like, the kid said that she was feeding him drugs and stuff, and...
Well, that was not them, though. Those were the social service people.
Yeah, like, the kid made everything worse every time the kid was there with other characters besides the mom. He would make everything worse by just saying some random stuff, like she wasn't allowing him to sleep, or the monster wanted to kill him, or...
Yeah, but all
kinds of strange stuff.
But going back to other characters that could have helped, I really feel like the sister could have done a lot better to help her, because that's immediate family. And that's kind of a shitty thing to do as a sister. I mean, I get that the sister's tired of it as well, but I don't know. She could have done a lot better. Why stay in contact then if you're not gonna help and just watch this poor lady like almost like destroy herself in this way?
Like, talking about the neighbor, when I saw her walk in, I really thought she was going to die, or like, rather than the kid being strangled, I thought she was going to be the one that was going to be strangled, especially since earlier in the movie they established her as having a disease where she couldn't really move that well.
Yeah, they said that.
And I thought that the reasoning behind that would be that later she wouldn't be able to run away when the crazy mother or in her state of madness.
No, what I think that was more just to establish that the kid was still like annoying, because he just says everything he thinks, and that's like a bad well, not necessarily a bad thing, but maybe like a disrespectful thing, like, oh, she has fucked up hands or whatever. I'm not sure what she exactly had, but and then the mother's like, yeah, you can say that, like almost as if he embarrassed her again, because that happens quite often. And people have like no, they're not sensitive or anything to the kid who has problems, behavioral problems. I mean, nobody really wants to support it. I feel like everyone's like, it's the weird kid, and even the school. It's kind of strange. Like, I feel like the school would want to help a kid like that.
Well, they tried in what I would say. It's not the wrong way, because the kid would actually almost hurt other kids, and you can't have that in your school.
Yeah, true, but
so it's really hard to help the kid, because, well, he can't really do anything right.
Yeah, well, that's because it's a kid. I mean,
of course it is, but still, he brings weapons to school and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like that.
I really don't know what schools or anything like that would do in real life. They would probably just kick you out immediately.
Yeah, I remember some guy at my school. I mean, I wasn't as young as the kid, but he took a Nerf gun to school, and it was taken away, and it was just like, that's gone now. You can't do stuff like that. And it's not just a Nerf gun. It was painted black, but it very clearly had the orange tip, and it wasn't even in the shape of a real gun. It was just kind of like these things this kid had. Obviously not a real gun or a real like dangerous weapon, even though they were quite dangerous. The ones of the kid in the movie. I mean.
Yeah, they were. I wouldn't say you would be able to kill someone with it, but you'd definitely be able to hurt someone. Like, he even did it later in the movie to his own mother.
Yeah,
he shot her.
He had like a little crossbow which shot darts, like actual darts you throw at a dartboard, like those kind of darts. And he had like a fucking catapult on his back which threw softballs or something like that. Baseballs. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, the movie went a bit Home Alone at the end.
Yes.
Again, we were talking about the same thing in Nightmare on Elm Street.
I really wanted to mention that as well. Yes, she runs into the basement and she gets
trapped.
She trips over a wire and she just hits her head against the wall, which was pretty comedic. But I mean, in the moment, it was pretty like an extreme moment because the mother was actually trying to kill the kid.
And the poor dog too.
Oh my god, yes. There's actually only one kill in the entire film, and that's a dog.
Like, I feel like it's some sort of established rule that when a dog appears in a horror movie that he isn't going to make it to the end.
Yeah.
Like, almost every single horror movie I watched where a dog is involved in some way, he dies.
Yeah.
But I feel like the only reason that this particular dog died was because you would think that the kid was going to die too because of the book that would...
Yeah.
Well, that's sad.
Was the dog in the book at all?
Yeah, he was getting strangled.
Didn't notice that. I only saw the kid being strangled.
Both. Like, first you saw the dog, and then you saw the kid, and then you saw the mother slit her own throat. Which is probably what would have happened if the kid wouldn't have all these traps set up. Yeah,
it was pretty weird to see because these things... Were they in the movie in the first version of the movie or what? Fuck. What are those images and text in the book the first time they read it or only after they ripped it apart and she got it back?
Was ripped apart.
Yeah, okay, well... Because the kid didn't see that, I think.
No, the kid only saw... Until the point where it said, like, you wish you were dead.
Yeah. But so maybe it was already later in the book, or it was somehow added when...
No, the thing was, like, when the mother reread the book, like, all the other pages beyond that were empty.
So it was added,
which is a pretty big part in the theory, like, everything beyond that wasn't... played out yet, so there wasn't anything to read.
Maybe she made the book herself in like these weird episodes of not being like herself, because she had moments where she was switching between this Babadook character, because the Babadook takes her, so it possesses her for some little bits, or maybe in those kinds of states.
Yes, she was an author, right? She said, like, in the birthday scene.
Yeah.
She said
exactly.
she was an author of not only regular stuff, but children's books as well.
Yeah, so I feel like she made the book herself, because the book appears out of nowhere, because it was just on the shelf all of a sudden, and I don't even think she remembered it at first. So
and it didn't really have any author name on it or anything. It was just an empty book with a few random pop-up pages in it.
That's my That's my I believe that theory then, that she made it herself, and didn't keep it in the right spot, and maybe in these other episodes, which were maybe off screen, she put it back together and put it back on the porch. I'm not sure. I mean, that's kind of thing. It leaves a lot of gaps for theories and things, which is in one way cool, but I also like to know what the fuck happened.
Yeah, because I don't really know if it was intentional, right? Maybe they just didn't feel like making an explanation.
I think it was intentional. This is kind of too like weird to leave open like this. It doesn't seem like a mistake, especially with the ending.
Yeah, I really would like to know what happened there, because I have no idea.
I never knew, because the first time I watched it, I don't think I really researched it. I was just, I watched it with my dad, I think, and my brother, and we were like, oh, that's a stupid ending, and then we just went further.
But, the usual.
Yeah, but like, I'm more interested, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It was alright. That's, I don't know, do you have much more to say on it?
I really don't, honestly. I think it's time to wrap it up for this one.
This episode's a bit shorter, but it's also a movie which in one way has a lot to say about it, but I mean, on the other hand, not so much.
I mean, this is also a one-off movie. Nightmare on Elm Street is such a big franchise, and there's so much you can say about it.
Mm-hmm.
And since I personally already knew a bit more about it than the Babadook, which, like I mentioned before, I watched previous, like, 2 hours before we started recording.
And in the last one, we could kind of like follow the story, like, oh, this is what happened then. We kind of could kind of cover it, but in this movie, since it's so slow, it's not really a story you could really follow that closely, because it's a lot of the same things in the beginning, and then at the end it gets kind of extreme, and maybe we kind of didn't really talk about that chronologically, but of course if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it. I mean, of course this is a spoiler review, so it would really help if you've seen the movie, otherwise you probably wouldn't understand a lot we said in this video. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. What would you give it out of 10?
Yeah, that's a tough question with something that I really don't know what happened. I would say like something along the lines of 6.5 to 7.
Yeah.
Something in between there.
I was gonna say 7, yeah. I mean, it was alright, only it left me not necessarily wanting more, but wanting more information about what happened. And that could be good, and it can also be not really good, because I don't think there are many answers, only theories. So yeah, you'll never know in a way. But
it leaves a lot to be desired.
A 7 for me. I'm not sure what I gave A Nightmare on Elm Street. I think like an 8.5 or something. I think 8.5, yeah. But yeah, a 7 for me for this one.
Yeah, I think I'll agree to that.
It was alright. I mean, it's definitely not a bad movie. It's
no, surely not.
It was shot well. It was acted very well, very good, and
especially for having a kid actor. That's always kind of a
hit or miss
tough thing.
But this kid was annoying, but he was supposed to be annoying, so it's good, I guess. But yeah,
it turned out all right.
It was all right. It was good. It was a good. So yeah,
it was a good.
It was a good. So let us know what movies you'd like to see on this channel in the comments down below. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like and share it. And of course, if you want to see more, click that subscribe button. You don't even have to press the bell. Just click the subscribe button. But if you want to be notified, click the bell.
Yes.
Yeah. You have anything to add to that?
I'm speechless.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see
That's
you
it for
guys
this video.
later, guys. Babadook. I'll stop. Bye.